Hello and welcome back to episode number six.
Number 6.
Six. Are
Oh
you sure?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, number six.
Safe.
Talking to Walter. I'm Vincent.
I'm TJ.
And I'm James.
Um, we've had some pizza and beer before this, so this might be a good podcast or it might be a really bad podcast. Only time will tell.
I think it's going to be a great
Yeah.
podcast. I think it's
pizza
already
wasted.
off to a good start.
Pizza. Yeah, we're pizza wasted on beer.
Lots of gluten.
So what did you guys do this week?
This week I did, let's see, just work, and I actually did shoot video finally for that cover that I'm doing.
Oh,
And yeah, I did that, and
what's this cover song? Are you gonna say yet or no? You don't want to?
I'll just wait till I put it out
Oh, okay.
probably, but
That's gross.
yeah.
You
but
put out?
but yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm trying to get 4 covers done basically by the end of this month, and then shoot videos for them, and then I have like a schedule set up that I'm gonna try to release stuff basically from now till the end of the year on YouTube, and then I'm working on original stuff in the meantime and try to put out another EP before the end of the year as well.
Is this for
So,
this adventure?
for
Or is
this
this
for this
Okay.
adventure? Yep.
Nice.
So
right on?
I'm excited about that, and it's been really fun, but it's like I had to write out a schedule and give myself some deadlines to force me to work
Yeah.
on stuff, but then that
Yeah.
also like amps up the pressure, even though it's self-inflicted. I like feel
Yeah.
like intense about it, because I really want to do it, but it's hard. We talked before about like it's tough to force yourself to be creative sometimes, so
Yeah.
it's
Oh
like
yeah.
it's definitely challenging, but
You all right there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Fighting your mic?
it's the
It's a new
gluten.
position
It's
here.
the
I'm
The,
not
gluten.
used to
the
it.
gluten's getting to him.
Gluten. I said no gluten. Oh no, I wanted extra gluten. Huh?
The
You
beer is
did.
gluten free. The pizza is extra gluten.
Yeah, that's
It's
that's what we ended
balanced
up
out.
with. I also just yesterday went to Sacramento and hung out with Cameron, my best friend Cameron, and
Nice.
Your moon and your
his
stars.
wife, and yeah, my moon and my stars, and he all summer he's been going and floating the river on the weekend with his wife and a couple of their friends.
Their river's probably a lot fuller than ours.
Oh
huh?
yeah, you can actually swim in it and like
Wow.
not drag on the
Not
bottom.
just
There's definitely
walk up to
some
your
shallow
ankles in it?
spots, but yeah,
It's called the American River, so it's the river all the rivers are
better
based off
be
of.
a
right.
hefty
Yep.
river.
Yeah, it's the best river. So, but and it actually moves, pretty good speed in a lot of parts. So it's a little more fun than when we
river
floated,
otters live
but
there too, right?
I didn't see any, but maybe.
I'm
yeah.
pretty
I
sure
think
they
ocean
do.
ocean otters live in the American River, and river otters live towards like the ocean.
Yeah, I think that's how
Yeah.
it goes.
Is that
No, I don't know.
that's probably not right. Um,
It's exact opposite.
But so okay, they've been talking up floating the river all summer and like wanting me to go, wanting Sarah to go, my beautiful amazing wife. And she was out of town this weekend, and so I was like, I'll go hang out. I kind of didn't really want to float the river because I was just being lazy, and I was like, I don't want to go out in the sun.
That's how I am.
I have clear skin. I'm gonna burn, which I actually didn't. I did a good job with sunscreen.
Nice.
I was like, it's just it's gonna be fun, but at the same time, I just kind of didn't want to. But anyways, I went
Yeah.
anyways, and it was awesome. It was super fun, and it was. I was telling Vincent earlier, they bought a raft at the beginning of the summer, and from Costco, it's like an inflatable raft, and it's a good size, so you can fit 6 people on there easy
Oh,
or whatever.
nice.
But it's already got. I'm not sure how many patches in it, but this was like the last float of the summer basically.
Yeah. And
so
you
it's-
invited 7 people, huh?
Yeah, no, there were I think there were 6 of us still.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
there were.
nice.
But it was they forgot to bring the pump that they usually use to pump it up, and they forgot paddles that they
They
usually
do
gosh.
usually bring paddles.
Yeah, they
Oh, okay.
usually do.
I was
So
gonna
they
say,
forgot
that's why they
those.
got all those holes.
Yeah, they forgot those things, and so we use like a battery powered pump.
As a
and-
paddle.
No, as a pump
As a paddle.
to pump it up, and
They were
it
just
was
waving the paddles at the
it was-
nozzle to blow it up.
Yeah, just fan. But Yeah, so anyways, it didn't even inflate like all the way because it wasn't powerful enough. It got to a certain point
Oh.
where it was like full, but
Yeah.
not really, you
Well,
know.
no, it was
Still
full
a
for
little
the pump.
flimsy.
It
Yeah.
was full for the
wasn't
pump itself.
firm.
Yep. So we get in and you're like, if you don't displace the weight properly, like somebody or multiple people are practically sitting in the river. Like
Sucks.
yeah,
Oh my
it
gosh.
was pretty crazy. And like multiple times we stopped and actually like blew air into it to try and air it
Oh
up
my-
more because it was definitely losing air as we floated. But it was super fun. We took some drinks and
Yeah, you have
just
to.
yeah, and there were tons of people out. A
You
bunch
should
of
have
other
just rode the
people.
cooler. Did you take-
We didn't have a cooler.
Oh.
No,
It's weird though. Nobody took a potty break, huh?
not a legitimate.
Not
potty
the whole
break.
time. You didn't see anybody
Same
get
thing
out of the
when
river.
we go to the
No.
community pool.
It's
No
so
one ever
weird,
goes
yeah.
to the
I-
bathroom.
It
It's
is
so weird.
It's so
Nobody
weird.
has to go, I guess.
I know. They
Just-
spend a lot of time in the water, just kind of holding onto the side.
Yeah,
of the
I
bathtub.
don't know what that
Uh,
is all about.
I don't
but
looking
know.
at the sky, not
Yeah.
making eye contact.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I was at the river one time recently this summer actually, and our side of the river is really shallow.
Yep.
But I happened to go to a spot where the water was like waist high at the deepest for me, and I'm short, so it was like thigh high for most people.
It was 2 feet deep.
You realized you could have just laid down and stood up and then peed in your pants.
Well, what I did was I did the fake stairs behind the couch bit, but in the water.
Oh.
So I was like, oh yeah, it's totally deeper over here, but my knees are bent, and so I basically just walked across the river and acted like I was going down the stairs and then back up the stairs. But as I was going, there's these kids going next to me, and they were. What am I hitting here?
The cord that I told you to wrap around the thing, but you
Oh,
didn't.
that's what I was gonna do. Hold on, let's do it right now. Shh, shh. You're gonna edit this out. It's too far now.
That's good.
Where's
It's
the
just
rest
it's
of
on
my
top
Slack?
of his.
Oh, it's
What's
pull your
it called?
computer up just a
Your
little bit,
laptop
lift it up.
is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
All right.
That's not gonna.
Welcome
help
to
anything.
episode 6 of
Oh my
Talking Up.
God.
No, I'm just kidding.
Starting over.
So you peed in the river.
So I was walking across the river doing the stair thing, and
And then
there's
you
these
peed
kids.
on a couple kids.
No, well, they were down river.
Oh,
They were
God.
downstream, and I was just walking. I was with my dog. He was upstream from me, so he was probably peeing on me, and I was peeing on them. But they had no idea what was going on, and I just hear one of them go, "Man, it smells really weird over here."
Oh,
my
God.
I was like, "I know why."
Because you had asparagus. Is that why?
That's exactly it. Yeah. Even I didn't want to be peeing in my own pants in water.
Oh, it's so bad.
This is taking a weird turn.
Yeah,
Anyways,
okay.
so I
Anyways.
floated
Yeah.
down the river.
I
It was a
don't pee
lot
my
of
pants.
fun. It was a lot of fun, and
It's
we
so weird.
No peeing. Okay, sorry.
We definitely
Does
came
that
across
river
some
have
crazy
like
people.
beaches, or is it just like sparse?
There's
like,
some spots with
like on turns and stuff.
Yep, there's
They're
spots with
called banks.
Banks.
They're usually
Yeah.
like river banks.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
something
makes
like that.
sense.
But
Just
there were people hanging out on the side, like at a certain point, like probably halfway down or whatever. There was a few big kind of beaches or river banks,
Banks.
and
yeah.
so people were hanging out there and drinking and music and doing whatever. But it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. But that's basically what I did.
Yeah.
So I was like, I planned on coming home yesterday, and by the time the river was done, I'm like super sore right now. I was just like wiped out. I was like, no, I'm not driving home.
What'd
so
you
I,
do?
So I came home early.
He had to
this
paddle
morning.
the boat with his hands.
Oh,
I
use your hands.
literally at some points got out, grabbed the front of the raft, and swam. for,
Oh
like,
my
Polish.
gosh.
Multiple
Freaking escape
times
from
that
Alcatraz.
happened. We
You
like
guys
took
might as well
turns,
use
basically.
There wasn't
raincoats.
enough current?
In some spots there wasn't, or the current pushes you where you don't want to
Oh,
go, like
yeah, yeah.
towards trees on the side or whatever. So
Uh-huh.
So you weren't even floating. You were just playing a game of like Oregon Trail, like avoiding rocks and
yeah, kind of
real life Oregon
Yeah.
Trail.
Yep. But it was a good time. So
I remember I skipped recess once because I got to the river. And
in
in
Oregon
Oregon
Trail.
Trail, yeah.
Oh, when you get that far, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually you die of dysentery.
There was no
before then.
saves. There was no saves then. Well, there
Oh,
was, but
man.
I think they wiped the computers like every night
Oh yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
So
Actually, I doubt
you
they
lose
did. I
that.
don't think they were that smart with computers.
They
It's just
might have,
every
because I
time
think
I
you
went,
can. I think you can set it to auto clear everything when you shut it
oh,
down. So like
but in
they
like
just turn them
90,
off. Like
96, that was a thing?
I feel
Could
like
could have
it
been. I
probably
don't know.
was.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think it
But
would have to be for the like school systems.
yeah, but every time I would go back, it'd be a different game.
Yeah.
Never saved.
It was because you're a different computer every time.
Probably, that's probably what it was.
You think about that part
I
of it.
get it.
That makes
That's
sense
what it
now.
was.
There was
Someone
no
else
cloud
was
back
playing
then.
your
You
game.
couldn't just log into your Steam
Uh,
account and have your games load up.
Put it in the cloud.
Right. What did you guys do this week?
Teach.
I went to Davis a couple times.
Who's
with
he?
UC
my
Davis or just
beautiful
Davis?
Who's
both.
he?
Both.
Oh,
Davis.
it's I'm just
Miles
kidding.
Davis.
Miles Davis.
I don't even know who that is.
Serious?
I know the name, but what is he known for?
Jazz?
Oh, I thought so.
Trumpet?
No, he's saxophone.
No.
No, he's trumpet.
Yeah, he
He
was
was
trumpet.
I'm surprised you didn't know that. He was a good trumpet player.
Oh man.
Jazz. It was that was the genre that he played was jazz.
I'm sure he played sax, but he was a trumpet.
Tell me more about him.
He is a guy.
He has a son or a daughter.
He's
Yeah.
either a son
When
or a daughter.
The older he got, the
Al
more
Davis, right?
the more plasticky he looked.
Al and Mark
a
Davis.
woman.
right?
A woman had his kids though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
The
It
Raiders
was- it
owner.
was a woman.
He's
Yeah.
related.
He has like a weird bowl haircut.
Yeah.
He cuts himself, I'm sure.
Probably.
Save a couple bucks.
So,
Oh,
anyways,
man.
I went
Hasn't
to
made
Davis.
any money since 2002.
Oh jeez.
So you went to Davis.
That's what we get for having beer.
Can we hit the restart?
I'm like sober now. As soon as
I
I
know.
stop drinking it, I sober up. I'm good. I'm gonna go drive right now.
Don't
No,
do
I'm
that.
not. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't.
So
don't
TJ
be
went to
stupid.
Davis.
You want to hit the reset?
Yeah, seriously.
TJ went to Davis.
Mostly to help my beautiful, amazing, wonderful girlfriend move because she's going to school out there.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Tell everybody her name so they could find her.
Well, I'm pretty sure I mentioned her name is Jasmine,
You have.
but that's
Yeah.
about it. Hold on one second.
I'm not cutting that out.
But I was like, well, it's because it was so close. I was talking earlier and I breathed out my nose and I can hear myself breathing.
Stop.
Okay, there we go. I think we're good.
Yeah. This is all staying in. I'm not even gonna edit this episode.
Oh
The most
man.
raw, terrible episode we've ever done.
The 20 minutes before we started, actually, the episode is still gonna be in the beginning.
Wait. I forgot we were gonna do this week. Our call to action at the beginning of the podcast. So if anyone's actually still listening at this point, you guys are awesome. Thank you. And leave a like or a comment and be sure to talk to us because we want to hear kind of who's listening. And if you guys have any questions, we want to hear them.
Actually,
We
it's
can
just
talk about
perfect
'em.
timing too because what was it?
Because it's the middle of my story.
54% of our audience retention ends at 13 minutes, and we just hit 13 minutes.
usually those usually
I didn't
those
even know that.
usually
Yeah.
those 13
On the
minutes
YouTube analytics, it
It
has
tells you that?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
our first 13 minutes are usually better than this, but so hopefully
Oh,
we'll see
great.
if it changes, see if the trend changes.
Uh,
So anyways, thank you to the people that are listening, and that's just so if you don't make it to the end of the podcast when we have been thanking people, now you know we're thanking you
Yeah.
for
we were
listening.
thanking you.
We're
to
not
all the other
assholes.
We were.
podcasts.
All the other ones we've thanked you, but you might not have got that far. So
But you know what? Since you didn't listen to the whole thing, forget you guys.
We're-
I'm just kidding.
we're not thankful at all. I'm just kidding. We are. Keep listening to 13 minutes at least. Thank you.
We'll
Okay.
do our best stuff in the
54%.
first 13
Move-
minutes.
Moving on. TJ went to Davis to help his Moon and Stars move.
My moon and stars, yeah. That was about it. Just drove there, hung out, came back. Nothing too crazy.
You didn't see any wild animals this time, or
No.
Didn't track any bears or go into abandoned mines and almost die.
Well, actually, we saw a bear on the freeway,
what?
but it's not what you guys are thinking. It's kind of an inside joke, but
That's so funny.
anyways, yeah.
That's
It's not hilarious.
There's nothing better than telling inside jokes to people who are not on the inside. That was good. I liked it.
That's all you did.
It's a good one. Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like, never mind. I was just every time I sit in this chair, I feel like I end up laying down by the end of the podcast, but
It's because
Yeah,
it's a
I know.
futon.
I
I do the
slouch
same
down.
thing.
Yeah.
I get it because there's a bed
Yeah,
inside
you
the
get it.
couch.
You get it. Anyways, what did you do, Vincent? Anything?
This week was actually I don't know if uh why, but um I've been trying this new thing where I've heard it all the time, but I've actually started like practicing it where it's like if like because of how you were talking earlier, you
It's
don't
a
want to
scam. I'm sorry, it's a
no.
scam.
Have you seen that commercial with the guy with the Lamborghini in the Hollywood
Oh
Hills?
gosh,
You've seen it?
I've
The
seen
billionaire
the
Warren Buffett.
however many minutes that I can handle, and then I'm just like, I can't. It's like a 60-minute commercial. It's like this stupidest.
Billionaire but Warren Buffett once said. But anyway,
You
I've
don't
always
know.
I've
TJ's
I
lost.
don't
no,
watch
Moving on.
commercials.
I'll add that to the list of videos we're gonna watch after
Internet
this.
internet stuff only.
Yeah.
No
Um,
commercials.
It is an internet commercial. It's
Oh
It's a
YouTube
well, I
commercial.
YouTube
I haven't
commercial.
watched
Yeah.
enough YouTube then.
Oh, but like for a long time, I've always heard because I had the same thing with motivation. Like I don't want to start something because what if I don't like how it comes out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I started doing. I've always heard like no matter what, if it's something you don't feel like doing now, do it for 5 minutes
Yeah, I've
and
heard that too.
see
Yeah.
and see how you feel after 5 minutes. So I've like I'll start doing something and then time myself for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes the timer goes off. Like I usually just want to keep doing it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you already started. You want to
And
finish now.
so
Yep.
this week I've actually gotten like a lot of things done that I had all summer to do. Even I start school tomorrow, so
Yeah.
summer's over
Yep.
for me. So like I got all these things done this week. Like I got in a car accident with Jamie like in April,
Yep. We
and
talked about that.
yeah.
My bad luck.
yeah.
Oh, I
And,
thought you were saying your tail light was from because Jamie hit you.
no. He was with
We
us.
we
I was
saw
just in the
that.
back
I
seat.
Yeah.
got you. Okay.
And so we got rear-ended, and that was like in April, and I've been like putting off like actually fixing my taillight and everything. And so I finally did that. I like ordered the taillight on Sunday. I got it on I think Friday. Got it on Friday, and then as soon as the guy came, I put it in. It took like an hour. I thought it was gonna take a lot longer.
It was like super easy.
Yeah.
You'd been putting it off
So
because
all
it's like
summer
I
I've
don't
been
wanna
putting
do
it
that.
off, and it took like an hour of my time.
And
And
then you
then
felt so accomplished afterwards.
yeah.
So what we're gonna do after 5 minutes? Like if I don't feel like doing this anymore, you don't have like a tail light at all.
Well,
But
I think
5
that's the
minutes in,
trick
it's
because like
gone.
because after the 5 minute timer went off, I had a tail light out already, and I
Yeah.
was like, well, I guess
You
I'll
have
just keep
to-
going. Yeah.
Because
you really
usually-
weren't gonna. You were just gonna stop after 5.
It's a good.
In my head, I like because I still didn't really want to do it.
Oh yeah.
But because it was hot outside and everything, but I just grabbed the fan from inside and like brought it out and had
Oh,
it on me
nice.
because I was in my garage. And then I was like, well, I already have this done. Like it didn't take that long. I'll just keep
I feel
doing
like
it.
that is a good practice because starting's almost always the difficult
Oh,
part.
Yeah.
And so if they say, oh yeah, just do it for 5 minutes, but that's basically like just start, and then
Yeah.
you'll probably
Yeah,
want
and
to finish.
you want to
Yeah.
finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're already doing it. And plus,
Yeah.
That's
I
what happens
I
with
had
dishes.
a tail light out.
When I do my dishes.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
And then also, me and Sydney, my moon and my stars, and my what was the other Trap Queen?
You're what?
It's a radio song, TJ.
Excuse me. It's music. You wouldn't understand.
How often do you listen to the radio?
Never.
That's
Actually, no. Lately at work, I don't know who it is. Like one of the bosses has a playlist of just all pop.
Oh,
Like
well,
just
Trap Queen is
anything that's
probably on
the-
there. Just
Okay.
listen for the words. I get high with my baby.
Oh yeah, I know that song.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. No, I don't really.
It's the weirdest song, but anyway,
I'm gonna listen for it now.
we've been talking about wanting to start meditating.
Really?
Yeah, and we've actually finally started it on Sunday. So it's been Saturday. It's been a week. It was a week yesterday. There's an app on your phone called Headspace, and I like the way I feel after it. But there's a couple nights where I do it at night. A couple times I've done it at night, and it doesn't feel the same as when I do it in the morning or in the day. Like,
Because that's when the demons are out.
but it's just like I felt more attentive and like more focused on things and able to realize. Are you all right, Jamie?
Oh man.
That's when the demons are out. Freaking TJ.
I watched
Um,
Insidious recently, so
Oh gosh,
I need to watch the other two.
you need to get the demons out after watching that.
Yes, I
um,
do.
what else did I do? I did
Wait,
a
so
lot.
explain more. What is this meditating that you're doing?
Yeah, I
Like
was gonna
how
ask
how
you,
does
how
What
that
do
is
you
work?
this
What is this
meditating?
how do you
meditation
meditate though?
thing?
Like I've heard of
Well,
different ways of
the
doing
app
it. What do you do?
has a guy who talks to you, and he basically walks you through it. You basically just sit in a chair, sit
I thought you have to
upright.
sit down when you meditate,
Yeah, you sit in a chair.
but he walks you through it.
Yeah, yeah.
I usually stand up when I walk.
He verbally carries you through it orally. Um,
Was it orally necessary?
he orally, verbally carries you through
Verbally, orally, and auditorily
Oh my
tells you with his mouth and words.
it
Okay,
while moving
anyways.
his lips and vocal cords to make syllables. Um, he
Jamie is hating us right now.
I should never have let you guys have gluten. This ruin this episode.
um
Anyways,
So his name's Andy, and he just like he's an English guy, so his voice is like calming, and he just like tells you like sit like okay now take a deep breath and loud enough, and he doesn't like count me through anything. He just like talks to you about like what you should try to get your brain to do or your mind to do. Um, and then there's like it's 10 minutes long and it times you, and then this is just for the first 10 days. Then after that, I think you got to get a subscription for it, but
oh,
I'm sure there's other programs available. Um, and so he just sort of like tells you what to do, but then he's quiet for like maybe 6 of the 10 minutes,
Mhm.
but then he's just like coaching you through the rest of it.
What does he tell you to do though?
You just gotta like focus, like you gotta transfer your focus from um like first you just start breathing, deep breathing, and you
You just
just
like
sort of
focus on your breathing, right?
well first you start off staring at like not focusing on anything and just sort of like trying to get that where you're, like, off staring into space, like, when you're daydreaming.
Yeah.
When you try to get yourself to do it, it's hard,
Your
but
eyes are open, but you're not looking at
yeah,
anything.
yeah, yeah.
And I've done that so many times, but I can't
You
make
can't get
myself do
yourself to
it.
do it,
Yeah.
yeah. So, that was hard for me at first, but after, like, the 3rd or 4th day, I was able to, like, get myself to just, like, blank stare with, like while sitting in a chair.
That's how you lucid dream too. You fall asleep. You just lay there with your eyes open until you fall asleep.
With your eyes open?
Yeah. It's hard.
Sounds
I've
hard.
never really done it actually. Well, actually, I think what you're supposed to do is get to the point where you're so exhausted that if you just close your eyes for a second, you'd probably fall asleep. But instead, you lay there with your eyes open,
you force yourself.
That's like
and you fall. Your body will like fall asleep, but your eyes are still open, so your mind's kind of awake while you're
oh,
dreaming.
but yeah, so
I could never been able to do it, but
that's how you start. Alright. So there was like a weird technical thing. Uh, I was gonna try to just flow back into that, but there's no way because we're having too many laughing fits. TJ's laughing right now
I'm
as
not laughing. What are you talking about? There was no
uh,
way.
I was talking about meditating, and the first step is you get to you focus like with open eyes, or don't focus with open eyes. And then you start deep breathing. Then you close your eyes, and then he just has you switch focus between like your breathing, and then the way your body feels, like sitting in the chair, and like the like how when every time you breathe out, you feel like a slump or like more pressure on your body, like loosening up. And then there's like some parts where you gotta just listen to what's around you, but don't actively listen. Just like you're a bystander, and the sounds are coming to you. So it's like a weird
That'd
type
be
of
hard to do. I don't know if I could do something like that.
it sounds more difficult than it actually is because when he was like, "Don't focus on sounds, just let sounds come to you." And there was a room with the I was in a room with a fan in it, and then like my parents were moving around the house and making all sorts of noise, and I was just laying there, and then I imagined like a satellite, like my head was a satellite dish, just like receiving things, but not in any particular order or anything, and it sort of made sense to me. I don't know. I always feel good after I do it. Um, in the mornings, at nights, it sort of like energizes me a little bit
Oh, you don't
or
want
like
that
gets me
either, huh?
ready. Yeah, so I try to do it like either in the middle of the day or as soon as I wake up. But we're on day 8 of it, both of us, and we both like it. So
Whose idea was it to start it?
mine. I've
Yours.
always because I used to do taekwondo, and we would have meditating sessions and stuff,
Mm,
but we would have to do them like in a squatted position.
yeah.
And I think I told you about
It's
this.
more just like yoga, really,
Kinda, yeah.
kinda, because
Well,
you're like
yeah.
exercising,
There was
but
well to get like the next belt up because I got up to like brown, which was it goes brown red or no, yeah, it goes brown black.
Brown, that means you got the shit kicked out of you, huh?
Yeah, no, it means I kick the shit out of people and then
Oh, that's what
clean it
that
up with
is.
my belt because it
that's
gets
that's
on me.
yeah. It wasn't brown
Oh,
until we
Yeah.
it
started
wasn't
doing
your own
that.
shit.
Yeah, it goes red, brown, and then black. And I got to brown, and then when I was like 8, but I was doing it with my dad, and my dad stopped doing it because he switched shifts at work, and I didn't want to do it by myself, so I just
Uh,
stopped. But
So
to
you're a
get,
brown belt, huh?
I was when I was 8, 25 now, so it's a little different. But
I was a white belt with 2 stripes.
I still have all my belts.
Did you get stripes?
You go up to 4, and then you go to yellow.
Oh, so I was white with 2 stripes. That's as far as
Electrical
I
tape.
got.
what
Yeah,
does that mean?
electrical tape.
What
Yeah.
does that mean?
I don't know. I
It's just
passed
like
is
2
white
tests.
is white the first?
Yeah.
And that
Uh,
was Taekwondo also, or was it
No, mine was karate.
karate?
Karate. Korean martial arts.
Have you the archer
Or
joke?
is it
Karate
Korean?
is like the Dane Cook of martial arts.
No,
Is it?
I haven't heard that.
It's just what he says an archer. But yeah, we had to do I forget what they were called, but you basically squat and you hold your arms out and you had to do it for like 10 minutes to go from like red to brown, basically squatting position like low to the ground for 10 minutes and then go from red to brown or from purple to red. It was like 10 minutes from red to brown. It was like 12 or 13 minutes. And but we trained like meditating at that time so we wouldn't focus on like our body like hurting and not being able to
Mm.
hold the pose
Yeah,
and stuff. And I just remember always feeling like that was I felt good about it. Like it was something I was able to do and like empty my mind.
yeah,
And I don't hold on to too many things. Like I don't like think about the past or like, oh, I could have done this back like different or I do that with like social situations that I'm in where I'm like, oh man, that was why did I say that? That was real stupid. I'll dwell on those, but in terms of like getting in fights or arguments or things, I usually let things go pretty quick. And I feel like that's where that came from. So I just
oh
wanted to
yeah,
get back to
Oh,
like
yeah.
being able to like just not worry about like little things that don't matter or just being stressed out or I don't know. So I asked her if she wanted to do it and she said she was okay with it, with trying it anyway.
yeah.
But she likes it.
That's cool. I've definitely never done something like that. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to try something like that when
I did that one time in 6th grade with we had this teacher. You remember Mrs. Clark?
I do. Yeah.
Well, she taught 6th grade because one of the 7th grade teachers left. So my 6th grade teacher left and they brought in a sub and it was her and she turned out to be really
Oh
weird.
yeah, yeah.
She ended up on Dr. Phil or something later on.
Something crazy.
I saw her
Oh,
on there. I was like,
God.
"Oh my god, that's my 6th grade teacher." Like in high school, I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
she
she
was-
we would cuz 6th grade was you had one teacher for the whole day. But 7th grade is when at our school is when you get to change classes.
Like the periods
yeah, the
start.
periods. So she would give us 5 minutes in between each period cuz the bell would ring for 7th graders and we would hear it. So we would meditate on certain like third period or something or no, that would be break time. So I don't know, middle of the day before lunch or something, we would one of those 5 minute periods we
She
would
would have the
meditate.
class meditate.
It was we would just sit on our desks with our legs crossed and we would
On top of the desk?
yeah, and we would just focus on our breathing.
This
That's
you don't have to
interesting.
cross your legs what we've done. It's just sit upright in a comfortable position with
I
that's
your
think
good
we
'cause
were
I'm not
sitting
flexible
because it
enough.
was at a
Yeah.
Christian school.
Oh.
I don't think they would allow that normally.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
The administration there, you know,
Allow what?
meditating.
Oh yeah.
That's not very Christian.
Maybe.
That's
I don't know.
It's very
Buddhists do that, so
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Right.
We weren't allowed to have Pokemon because they evolved.
Backwards
Are you-
thinking,
wow.
dude.
Man walked with dinosaurs.
You don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't even know the
You
half of
don't
it.
know. The
I mean, you might know
things.
the half of it because of Catholic
America.
Church, but
America, everybody. I taught catechism for like 4 years.
yeah.
Did you?
Little known fact about me.
Yeah. I never would have guessed it.
Me either. Actually, no, I would have guessed it. That's why
Uh,
you are the way you are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
I'm
so.
afraid of God.
Don't, oh man.
So this has
Uh,
gone to a good place. Let's talk about that.
yeah.
Um,
Now that we're 40 minutes into the
we're
podcast, the
not 40.
introduction's done. I'm
Almost
just
get
kidding. We're
40
not 40
minutes.
minutes.
Actually, it seems like we are.
You guys, yeah, we might be. You guys want to move on to kind of
Yeah, I'm done
the
with my
internet
week. I don't have anything else to
stuff?
talk
Oh
about.
my, no,
Freaking
go ahead. Keep
no, I
going.
don't even want to tell you anymore.
Keep going.
No, I'm just kidding. I think that was it. I don't remember if it wasn't, but
Internet
Did
stuff.
you do anything else this week?
mm.
All right, then moving on.
I just like to make things difficult for you, Jamie.
I know you like to make me feel like the bad guy.
Well,
That's all right.
only you
I
can
probably am
control.
the bad
Only
guy.
you can control how you feel, Jamie.
That's true. It's like being offended.
Only you
can
can
only-
prevent forest fires.
You can, yes. I'm gonna bring up Underoath again, the band.
Oh my god, again?
Dead
know.
horse, dude.
I know, beating it to death. That one other time I brought it up.
Two.
Two? Has it been two? So
You-
this is the third time?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Really? I don't know.
Well, you brought up the backwards song, and then a week you mentioned that they added a countdown like a week later.
oh, maybe that's
oh,
right.
okay. I did. Yeah.
So the
that-
countdown's
yeah,
up
that's right.
tomorrow, which inevitably means I'm going to bring it up again when the countdown's over and tell everyone what,
next
what the
podcast.
countdown was for. But anyways, they did make an announcement that they're playing Self-Help Fest in 2016. That's like a one-day festival in California, and so that's super exciting.
At least it's in California,
it's,
right?
It's a show, and it's with
a day to
the-
remember, right? Or,
Yeah, Day to Remember actually like puts on the festival. Like they're the ones that started it, and
oh, nice.
they like manage it and host it. Basically, it's pretty cool.
And they did it in California.
Yep, I know,
Not f-
weird,
yeah.
but
They're both from Florida, aren't they?
yeah. But there's probably just
That is weird.
there's a market for
That
giant
makes sense,
festivals
yeah.
in California.
There's a lot of
and
people who need
people
help
who will
here.
go to those. Yeah, people will go. Yeah,
Who need to
self-help.
help themselves here.
They do.
Yes.
But so they made that announcement, which is really exciting. But the countdown's still going, and I'm hoping that means it would be the best thing would be that it means a new album and they have like a song they're releasing at the end of the countdown.
Not that the album's already recorded.
That would be okay. That would be the best case
And
scenario.
it comes
Best
out
case
on. Don't
scenario.
albums come out on Tuesdays, right?
That's
Yeah,
why I was
so-
kind of thinking, but I think the
Oh.
countdown's actually gonna end. What was it at 23 hours when we looked earlier?
Yeah.
So that means
Tomorrow
it would end
around what?
tomorrow afternoon
or
or something
three.
is when it would end. Yeah. But either way, I'm excited to see what that means because when they announced they were playing the festival, I was like, that's really cool, but hopefully that's not like their big news, because it's
Well,
like
they
that's
announced
it?
a reunion too. They said they're reunited, but
they basically
and they never said for a show, but it could be for a show.
right. Yeah.
So-
But since the countdown's still going, I'm assuming there's definitely something else
Hopefully.
about to happen.
Or they messed
but-
up the countdown, and
or they-
they added a day when they shouldn't have.
yeah.
Maybe they're still going.
Oh no, take that down. But anyways, that was something I thought was exciting. Was the Underoath thing. So it'll be cool to find out tomorrow kind of what they do.
Underoath watch here at Talking to Walter.
Yep. So that's what we talk about.
Day,
Underoath.
day 17.
What was the other thing did you guys look at the video? The
Chat roulette video.
yeah,
Yeah, that was really cool.
it was
What
super
was
cool.
it?
Did you
No,
watch
I
it?
didn't watch
No?
it.
You know what chat roulette is?
No, no, I
Do you know
don't. I think
Om-
I've heard of it.
Omegle.
No.
Basically, it's like a website, like a video chat website where you would sit in front of your computer and then click like next person or chat, and it would randomly hook you up with a person
Okay.
to talk to, like a random person. It's a lot of
And it's video chat, right?
yeah, it's a lot of guys masturbating.
Oh jeez.
Like
That
it
sucks.
is, it really is.
That's terrible.
And like there's some YouTubers who their whole like gig is they go on chat roulette.
Oh, and people watch them chat
Yeah.
with other people.
Yeah, and
Huh.
they have like 1 million subs, and they just do chat roulette.
Wow.
I'm sure their channel didn't start that way, but that's what it's come to.
It's come
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah,
That's
and
interesting.
so these people did basically a first person shooter where the person chatting, the random person they would link with was the controller. So it would like started with the guy like in a was it like a grave or like a steeple or like a
He
church?
was inside a building.
a
Yeah.
small building with like a dead priest or
Huh.
undead priest next to him,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and there's like things around, and the guy's like, it's like they had a voice actor, and then they had a guy wearing a GoPro camera.
Oh, okay.
So so it was two different people. So the guy was voice acting while the guy with the GoPro camera was like sort of moving around. And the guy was like, "What do I do? What do I do?" He's like, and the person was like, "What is going on?" Like, grab the crowbar, and he like picks up the crowbar. He's like, "Hit the priest," and he like hits the priest with the crowbar, and then like grab the keys, and unlocks the door, and then there's like more zombies, and it's like they do this whole like first person level, and there's even like a boss fight, and
That's
yeah,
cool.
It's
all these
really
things.
cool. I thought
Yeah,
it
So the
was awesome.
person that was chatting with them didn't know what to do,
they didn't know they weren't in on it.
so
No,
they just watched the whole thing.
they controlled it.
Yeah, they got to tell him what to do. So they played the game by saying,
Oh,
"Oh,
it was the guy that was video chatting that said, "Grab the crowbar."
it was
The random person was saying grab the crowbar. The voice actor was
Oh,
asking
saying,
the
"What do I
person.
do?"
Yeah.
yeah,
I get. I thought you were saying, "What do I?" I thought one guy was saying, "What do I do?" and then the other guy with him was like, "Grab the crowbar."
No, oh, okay, yeah. There
I
was
get what you're
it
three
was
saying.
people.
backwards. Yeah,
Two of them were in on it. One of them wasn't. The person not in on it was the controller through voice.
No, I get
And
that
they
now.
even
Yeah.
had the coolest part was the QuickTime event where it was like type Q, type
oh yeah,
Q, type
yep,
Q, type Q, and then he like a zombie comes on top of like falls on top of him. Sorry, phrasing. Uh, a zombie falls on top of him and he's on the ground and it's like type Q, and then like if the person types Q, the actor would like grab a brick and then hit the zombie off of him,
Yeah.
and if they didn't, they died
yep.
because people not all the people made it to the end of the level.
Oh, they showed a couple of trial runs or
Oh
something.
yeah, there were
They
a
showed
few
people
different.
dying, like there was health and loss, and like
That's cool.
and you can tell who the gamers were too, because there was like one guy who's like, "There's something in that pot. Look in that pot," and he like looks and he's like, "I got a grenade,"
Yeah,
and then
and he's like, "Save that for later."
yeah,
That's funny.
and
They know what
he
to do.
was like, I think two people got the grenade, but they only show one guy like
Actually,
remembering
use
that he
it.
had it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mm.
and I
yeah.
was
It
like,
was
you
really
could tell
cool.
that guy plays
It
video
was
games.
cool. I thought that was pretty interesting though. That
How'd you
just
find
popped.
that?
It just popped up as like the trending on YouTube
Oh,
kind of
okay.
thing.
Yeah, I saw it on the front page of Reddit, but
That oh well, yeah, saw it on the front page of YouTube, I guess.
I haven't done either one of those this week at all.
and then there was another funny part where he gets on the turret
Yeah,
and
I thought they fixed this thing or
yeah,
whatever.
they're like in the backyard and oh yeah, and the turret they had to like tell the guy to like hook a battery up to the turret to use it and stuff,
Okay.
and but they were like in a private backyard or like on a cemetery or something, but there was like a public road next to him, and there was a guy whose car like stopped working or something. The guy was outside of his car and he was like shooting the turret at the zombie, and then the guy who was controlling the game was like, shoot the guy on the road.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
remember
then the
that.
guy playing was like, or the video game guy was like, I don't think he knows what's going on, or like something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You gotta,
It
like,
was super funny. There's just like a
improvise.
random old guy out of his car. He's like, shoot the guy on the road.
Yeah, that was
That's
cool,
not part
though.
of the game.
I thought that was pretty fun.
That's DLC that you haven't purchased.
But the way the boss was set up was crazy, and like I don't know. You should we'll watch it
Definitely have
after.
I'll
to
watch it for
Yeah.
Yep,
sure.
add that to the list.
What was the third one? We got to watch the Madden commercial.
Madden, the first-person shooter,
I don't remember the other one.
and
A music one that I have to show you guys. Sorry, this isn't
Yeah.
part of the podcast. It's
that's
It's not
that's
professional.
unimportant.
That was
guys. I
unprofessional.
apologize.
You have
Should we leave links as a courtesy?
Yeah,
yeah.
Here's what
yeah.
we're doing right now.
Yep. This was the list we randomly talked about in the middle of the podcast for no reason.
You have Poet Anderson and the Dreamwalker. Are those the same thing or?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what
yeah,
is
that's
that?
funny the way that space it out in the document, but
Is it funny or
or just weird. If you look at a computer screen, it's not funny. It's just normal. But
oh, I see. It was like Poet Anderson dash. I get
yeah,
it,
and it
yeah.
actually split them into. Anyways, that's also irrelevant. So sorry about that. That
We'll
okay. So
add- we'll add
Poet
the
Anderson.
relevant elephant
Yeah.
walk across the screen.
Relevant
Relevant elephant.
Say that 5 times slow.
That's
Easier that way.
yeah. It
That's
would
what
be
I'm saying.
easier.
I want you to succeed, so say it slow.
5 times. Relevant elephant. Okay.
So what's Poet Anderson?
Poet Anderson is like a comic series and an animated movie basically that Tom DeLonge, the
Tom
singer
DeLonge.
singer or ex-singer of Blink-182, however you look at it, and Angels and Airwaves as well. But
Ex-singer of Angel and Airwaves.
no, still singer of Angels
Temporary
and Airwaves.
singer of Boxcar Racer.
Yep. But he started this thing. It's like a comic series that he came up with the idea for, the concept or whatever, and obviously he worked with other people that did the finished product. But the reason I wanted to talk about it and I thought it was cool is because TJ is always been interested in lucid dreaming, uh, as you could tell when he mentioned that not too long ago when we were talking about meditating.
That
But
is weird though, actually. Yeah.
but yeah,
didn't
it's
realize.
the whole concept is about lucid dreaming basically, and Poet Anderson, like the character, um, I guess it goes through his. I haven't watched the movie. I
His name
actually
is
want
Poet.
to. Yeah, his name is Poet.
Who names their kid Poet?
I don't know, but it's kind of a cool name.
That
We
just
had
sets
we
up
had
some
a
really high specific standards.
It
we
it
had
does.
we
You
had
better
a
be
jam
good.
Better
jam
be
band
creative.
named Poet.
You what?
Me and you had a jam band named
Oh,
Poet
that's
back in
true.
the day. Remember?
Did you?
Poet like an acrobat.
Poet
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
that's
right.
Find
right.
us on YouTube. Poet like
Poet.
an acrobat.
You have some stuff on YouTube?
No.
Oh, okay.
You should now though. Um, But anyways, I thought it was cool. It's the movie actually looks cool. It's like, it's a very extreme, like Tom DeLonge's super into Star Wars and space and that kind of thing, and then mixed with like the dream like world,
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
kind of limitless possibilities, and especially if you're dreaming lucidly and can take kind of control of your dream.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of like I guess a story of him working through or helping other people work through like their dreaming, because they're basically like night terrors, I guess. So they're lucid dreaming with like bad things happening, and so they have to like work through that. And then it's like the blending of lucid, the dream world, and reality. And I guess at some point he like can see the two kind of side by side or whatever. So I don't know. It sounds really
You
interesting.
I
Like I
just
thought,
read
Totally
I just read
Insidious
the
right there.
plot on Wikipedia and you pretty
okay.
much nailed it.
I nailed it.
Except
Yes.
his greatest fear is called the night terror.
Okay.
So that's the protagonist in the story, I would guess. Right?
Yeah.
Protagonist is the bad guy.
Antagonist is
Antagonist is the bad guy. Protagonist is the main character.
I think so. Yeah.
protagonist is the athlete, the pro athlete. Just kidding.
It's antagonist.
But it says
he's
it was-
actually the professional.
it was
antagonist.
The
inspired
professional
by-
antagonist.
It says the story was inspired by Blade Runner and Clockwork Orange.
That's what
so it sounds like
It's like a Blade Runner world with like a Clockwork Orange character kind of idea.
I never saw
think is what he was
Clockwork
saying.
Orange. I'm not sure how.
No?
I
that
actually
movie's
never
about.
have either.
I'm gonna
it's
watch
kind
it
of
tonight.
weird.
Probably
Should.
not.
It's a Kubrick movie. Stanley Kubrick did it, right?
I don't know. I
Like
really don't know anything
85%.
about it. That's just like that's one of those cult classic movies, right?
Yeah.
Like a 70s movie, isn't it?
I don't know when it came out, but
I don't either. We don't know a lot, so.
I'm
But
like
I do
80
want to get.
I need to know if it's Stanley Kubrick. Yeah,
I
it's
do
Stanley
want to
Kubrick.
get his that movie. I think it was only like $3 for digital download.
It says that it was Portuguese American animated.
Portuguese American.
So I don't know where the firm who animated it was. Probably Portuguese. So, and it looks really well. The reason I bring that up is because there's
I was like, why is that relevant?
because there's
The theme is there's a
in
top
sort of-
hat
in
and a
sort of
skull.
like in that sort of world, like graphic novel
bowler.
turned to animation or
Oh yeah,
things. There's different cultures for. This is me talking as an art student.
yeah.
Different cultures have different styles, and it looks like either like a Spanish, Portuguese style. Because if you like, I know TJ will know like Princess Mononoke or like Spirited Away, how that like has that sort of like flatness about it.
Oh, is that what you consider Spanish, Portuguese?
No. That's like Asian.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure it's
That's
it Japanese?
to me, I'd call that anime. Yeah,
Well, yeah, but it's not like typical like
it's
manga.
the Disney of anime. the
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
that
yeah.
did
But you
those.
can look at it and be like, oh, this isn't from America.
Oh yeah. I know what
Yeah,
you're
type
saying.
thing. Or like, oh, that's definitely not Russian. Or I don't
Yeah,
know.
that
Like,
for sure has a specific feel to it
yeah,
that
and
caters to like a specific audience of,
yeah,
you
that's
know.
all. That's why it was relevant. I
Yeah.
wasn't like
I
stereotyping. It's
no,
just it doesn't look American, and
and
Oh, so
the
not.
it is Portuguese?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it says.
but yeah, the trailer that I watched for it, what I thought was cool is there's just a lot of really cool graphic stuff going on with how the animation is. Like if I'm remembering right, it's been a while since I should have watched the trailer again before talking about it. But it's almost like there's like a mix of 2D and 3D uh in some of the scenes.
Two and a
Kind
half
of
D,
I don't know
No, I
what
mean
you would
they
call it,
do
but
that a lot where they
they're
implement.
flat characters, but in like a three
like a
dimensional
parallax
world.
It's like
effect.
Kind of
cell
yeah,
shaded,
it's just
right?
kind of it had a really cool look. I don't know. That's why I was really interested in watching it, but I just still haven't downloaded it and watched it. But
It's
So
cell
the whole thing's
shaded.
out though.
It's cell
yeah, you
shaded
can
and
buy the
actual shaded.
movie.
It looks like I'm pretty sure the guy like the Gorillas are an English like band, right?
UK, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what the art style looks like.
It's
yeah,
like
that
computer
it does.
generated, but it's
The Gorillas.
2D.
Yeah, yeah, it does
That's
look
how
a
I
lot
see
like
it.
that.
Like, cause there is like 3D. Uh, what is it?
Well,
Cell
cell
shaded
shading basically
3D makes
means
it
there's
look
no
2D.
cell shaded means that there's no
There's no gradient.
yeah, it's on or off shadow.
Yeah.
But there's some like here's a screenshot and there's like you can see the
Is there
gradient.
some? Let me see.
But his personal shadows are cell shaded, but the background is
Yeah, I thought it looked
That
really
is
cool though.
yeah.
I thought
It
it
looks
looked.
like an indie game cover or something.
It does like visually. I think was actually what interested me more at first. Excuse me. And then when I found out more about the storyline, I was like, that actually sounds really interesting too. Like I think
Yeah.
it'd be fun to get into. But
It's just a one thing, like one story. There's a
yeah,
comic and then a
there's
movie.
there's a comic, there's a movie, there's a novel.
Oh,
There's
okay.
he's doing a bunch of stuff with it, and I'm
He
sure he's
wrote. Did he
planning
write
on.
all that?
He did like I think he did the screenplay for
He
the
directed the
original
movie.
movie or whatever, and then he partnered with someone who wrote the novel.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm not sure if he's doing an actual like regularly released storyline with the comic or if it was like a one thing. I'm not really sure, but
Mm.
he's
It
doing a lot
says
with it. It's cool.
on Wikipedia it says it's a short. It's only 15 minutes long.
Oh,
The actual
really?
movie,
Short film.
yeah, it might be. That would make sense. It's only like $3, so
Yeah.
that would make sense. It's a short, so
But is he doing something new with it or
yeah. The last Angels and Airwaves album was the soundtrack to that
oh
Oh,
as
okay.
well, and so he's like kind of putting those all together. Like Angels and Airwaves gonna have a lot to do with the Poet Anderson storyline now, and they'll still be kind of separate entities anyways, but they're
huh.
gonna be kind of intertwined.
That's
So
pretty brave direction.
it is.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I don't know. Like there's tons of people that hate Tom DeLonge, and there's obviously tons of people that love him. But I've always thought he's really cool, just because as an artist he like has such a big imagination
Oh, yeah.
and he just goes for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to take a break.
Are we gonna be able to hear your conversation?
And we're back. That was a phone call from my wife, my beautiful, amazing Moon and Stars wife. So, anyways, we're
That's
gonna have
my
a lot
sister.
of and Vincent's sister. We're gonna have a lot of cuts in this episode. But that's okay.
What are you talking about? They won't even know if I do my job right.
They will now because I just told them.
Just said.
Unless
I'm not
you
even
cut that
gonna
out.
try now.
You already said you're not gonna edit any of this.
When I make a cut, I'm gonna edit in me going cut.
This is gonna be a
3,
cut.
2,
This is gonna
1.
This is gonna be a 3-hour episode with a bunch of dead space and banter.
Random stuff in the
yeah.
background.
But anyways, we're basically done talking about how I thought Poet Anderson Dreamwalker was cool, and
And we watched.
and
I
we
watched
should
the
check
video.
it out.
We
part of
watched
it,
the
and it
trailer,
was pretty
too.
cool. It looks cool.
And now they think it looks cool. And
Well,
Vincent hates the music.
my biggest beef is it looks like a cool thing, but the music is completely wrong for it. But I don't know.
I'll
probably,
tell Tom next time I talk to him.
Well, you know Vic from Pierce the Veil personally, so
Oh.
I mean,
He remembers you every time you see him.
Name drop right there.
Yeah.
He wouldn't remember me. If you guys tweet him and say, "Hey, do you know this guy?" He wouldn't know. He wouldn't have a clue.
If he saw you, he would remember you.
Maybe so.
So let's talk about the next thing we have.
Yeah, let's talk about the next thing. I like that
this
idea.
this week's main topic was supposed to be technology, but apparently 2015 is a slow year.
Yeah, seriously.
Ironic.
Out of all years,
Ironically
know.
enough.
I
it
had
was
a hard
featured
time
in Back
finding
to the
stuff.
Future 2,
Yeah.
which I just watched like a couple days ago.
Did you see all the payphones?
Yeah, that was weird. It's kind of funny. Like you don't see those. And there's no hover cars. I don't know what the deal is with that.
They could only do it with skateboards.
And there's only ever Jaws 3 was the farthest they went. They didn't do Jaws 19.
Yeah. Well, in the background, it's Star Wars 7, though, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I think it is.
I don't think they have a Star Wars.
I think it, unless it was like a fake edit that I saw, probably was. But
Probably.
so technology. The first story I saw was Elon Musk's Hyperloop.
Yep.
Did you read the article?
I
Either of
did.
you?
Yeah.
I didn't read it.
No, you looked at the
I looked
picture.
at the pictures.
So apparently, Elon Musk, the
Like a little kid.
owner, founder, creator of Tesla and SpaceX, a couple years ago or a year ago or some time ago, wrote a paper about Hyperloop travel, which is basically an above ground tube that is under low pressure or vacuum.
Yep.
And so there's no air resistance or anything for things traveling through it. So to get you would move faster than you would in like a, what were those airplanes? A Concorde?
Yeah, they were saying like close to supersonic speeds. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be.
So
'Cause-
that's like 700 miles an hour.
It's fast.
Yeah.
It's really fast.
So
yeah.
that's like from LA to Oregon in like an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be slower than that. I think they were saying from San Francisco to LA would be like a 2-hour trip or something.
Really?
I think that's what the original paper was estimating.
What
I
is-
could be
that's-
wrong though.
That's like 400 miles, isn't it?
Yeah,
Su-
the drive.
supersonic.
I think so.
Yeah, supersonic is like 750 something miles an
Is
hour.
it?
Yeah.
I don't know enough to.
So.
I just remember the article you like said near or close to
Oh,
supersonic
I didn't
speed.
read all that. Well, maybe I did. I just don't remember it. But
Yeah. Or I'm remembering it wrong. But either way,
so
It's
it's
fast.
basically
Again,
it's
we don't know what
basically-
we're talking about.
Yeah, that's the motto of this show.
Disclaimer.
What is the motto?
the disclaimer is that we don't.
No, but the thing we came up with basically says that we don't know what we're talking about. Definitely
Indefinite ingenuity or
Indefinite-
something.
Oh, yeah.
indefinite ingenuity.
Yep.
That was
That's
supposed
part
to
of
be
it?
It was supposed to be our tagline.
Oh, we didn't throw it in there.
We were gonna change the title to it, but we already
Oh.
had the first episode. I don't remember.
Okay.
But I got to put that on the tagline now so no one can steal it.
That's right.
I'll put a trademark symbol so they think it's real.
Yeah.
So
They think it's
uh,
trademark.
But basically, it's like if you go to a Costco, the tubes that they send the money to, like the wherever the money goes or whatever, like post office is use them, right?
I think so. Some
drive
yeah.
through ATMs, like
Yep.
it's like a
different
a
banks
vroom,
use them.
like
Yep.
you stick the thing in and it
Vroom.
takes it. Yeah,
That's a good sound for
Yeah.
it.
It was. Yeah. It's
and
pretty accurate.
but the way that the article words it, it just says like flinging people from place to place. But I don't think a human would survive, and like I think a human,
Futurama.
yeah,
You'll definitely be in some sort of vessel that
some sort of
gets-
capsule,
yeah.
yeah, pressurized
Or a suit.
Yeah.
You're gonna wear a suit.
or a suit, yeah.
No, because they were talking in the original paper. They were speculating like you could have like cargo carrying, like where you could drive your car into the capsule and have
Oh.
that sent.
That's
you know,
cool.
like
yeah,
you could ride with your car down there. So
That's
you have a
crazy.
car in LA, but
basically just
you
freight
don't have
cars.
to make the drive. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
super cool. I mean, the idea
They're gonna
is
awesome.
obviously.
And they're
if
gonna
you
build
could-
a 5 mile test loop, somewhere on the Central Coast, so
Mhm.
like South San Francisco, north of LA. But to me, it seems like, because I read somewhere else, I don't know if it was just hearsay or whatever, but because the people who are planning to do this with Elon Musk are the company who they built one of the Hadron Colliders. I don't know which one, but or maybe both or all three of them. But
but that's one of the
However
things,
many-
the
yeah.
projects or whatever
Yeah.
they've done. Yeah,
and the thing that what was I saying? Oh, The there was somewhere a plan like written a long time ago for something like this, like a super train, like a
Mm,
mag like the Japanese style train, from LA to Vancouver,
mm,
which would run up the entire West Coast, and you'd be able to get there in like an hour and a half, 3 hours, or something like that.
something crazy. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
but to me, it seems kind of crazy that they would do that because the fault and all the earthquakes right there in a pressurized tube that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure that there's going to be like safety measures,
Oh
and
yeah.
it'll be an above ground tube, which it'd be easier to maintenance
Right.
than like an underground tube, and it'd probably be safer because there'd be like shock absorbers, or because you can make something above ground immune to an earthquake pretty much with enough
Oh
springs and
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And
whatever.
you know that they would do that. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure
eh,
they would.
yeah, because it's got the the exciting thing about it is like, man, that has to happen because that would just be so cool, and it's possible with enough good minds working on the project and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you think about how like big of a project that is, it's gonna take years and years and years and
Hmm.
years
Well, they
before
just
it's
finished the highway system in America, like in like 1997. They started in 50 something, so
yeah, and
and now they got to start over.
they're still working on
Well, they're starting over
99.
to like retrofit it and update it and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my
So it's
god.
like, will we see it in our lifetime? I hope so, but
I know. I feel like
who
I
knows?
constantly feel like I was born a generation early,
Yeah.
or like a few generations just too early to see like all the cool
All
All
the
the
shit
real
cool
happen.
cool
stuff.
stuff,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
and
it's
I got
like
to see an
crazy.
iPhone be made, so
Yeah,
that was
that's true.
okay.
I mean, that was a big
You gotta appreciate
big
the
deal.
time you're in. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
Yeah.
true. But then like this is the part that blows my mind. My grandma was born in 1920 something, and she is
she's
still
seen
alive.
tons of stuff.
She's
Yeah.
still alive, so
She's
she's
seen
seen like,
insane
yeah,
things happen. Yeah.
from like the time she was born and like can remember till now. It's like, if I all I can hope for is that my life is can be explained in the same way as hers.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
you have enough,
Seriously.
yeah, as many awesome things that you
Cause
kinda live
yeah,
through,
cause the biggest thing right now, it's like not everybody had internet and
and now we
Wi-Fi
do.
didn't exist,
Yeah.
and now we have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, hopefully that's not where my
I think we, like
The pinnacle.
yeah,
yeah.
I think we take stuff for granted now too, though, because thinking about stuff like NFC payments, like I know that's not a crazy new technology, but
Actually,
when you were a kid,
you didn't think about
if you
it.
saw someone paying with their watch on a scanner, you'd be like,
So
"What the
not even
heck?"
James
Yeah.
Like,
Bond did that.
yeah, you're like that's some Star Trek stuff, you know? That would have been really cool, but that's so there's stuff for sure happening. It's really cool,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I
I've
do
never
feel
written
like
a check, so maybe I don't.
well, yeah, there you go too. Like
Uh-huh.
my mom.
Does
My
she
Oh
dad
still
man.
still
write
pays with
checks?
Yeah.
checks. Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
I went
but
to go drop off like a water, cuz my dad pays like the utilities for our house, and he pays it with a check, and he drives there every month
oh my
to give them the
goodness.
check.
Oh my god.
And one day he didn't have time or something, so I drove it to like City Hall or wherever, and he was like, and I came back, he's like, "Did you get the check back?" And I was like, "For what?" And he was like, "Well, usually they give you the check as a receipt because they don't even need it."
Yeah, they
And they
send
like
it, they scan it or
they
whatever and give it
basically
back
treat it
to
like a
you.
one-time use debit card.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, was I supposed to?" And he was like, "Well, I just like it." So like I went back. I didn't have to, but I went back and got the check. And she was like, "Oh, sorry. Usually we don't
We
give
give it
any
back
checks."
and
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know what to do with it.
I was so
Nobody
confused. I've never seen one of
No,
those.
because she like pulled like a lockbox out from under the counter, and there was like a $5 bill and then like another check in there.
From
And
like the two people
the
that
two
paid
people
with
that paid,
cash
yeah.
or check. Yeah. Dude, that's hilarious.
In person too.
Yeah, it's funny because people get I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, people that are resistant or just don't want to like do the more convenient thing because they're
Yeah.
just used to doing it a certain way,
Yeah.
It's like a debit card. You slide it, put in a pin, and you're done
Well,
paying.
the
A
my
check, you got
yeah,
to write out all this stuff, have them scan it.
my dad's
And
beef with
it's
it
like,
is keeping his balance like up to date.
right, yeah, and that's my
So
mom's too.
yeah, so he uses
It's a
his check
tangible
yeah.
thing to look at.
It's
Yep.
real money. It's not like, oh, it's $20. Oh, like lunch, $15, whatever.
Yeah.
But you do that for a week straight, and all of a sudden
You
you're
have no
Yeah,
money.
$75 or $100 in the hole.
There's definitely value in exchanging like physical, tangible currency
Yeah.
because it feels like you're spending money. When you slide a card, you don't feel like you're losing anything.
Nope.
You know you are, but you know it's like I mean that's just a mindset that you know either you're good at managing your money or you're not. But
That's why our
It's
generation
like,
is in debt.
that is no,
Yeah.
it's so true. It's like oh yeah, that plastic thing that pays for stuff, right? You know, it's like,
That's not why.
We need to have
guys.
Yeah.
the Google Glass or whatever the next thing is. We need to have a HUD display so it shows
Constantly has
how
Our
much
ledger,
you're
like-
Oh,
spending,
God.
how much life you have.
That's
I
terrible.
would
How much
spend a lot
mana.
more time being sad. Than
Yeah, I know. I would be depressed all the time. Seeing that like 2 on there. $2.
Well, you know what it would be?
All right.
No, you have to go to the pause menu to get to that because
Yeah.
your HUD display just shows your heart rate and your.
Dude, how
And then
crazy
you
though.
pause and then you go to your bank account.
That-
Not
I feel
even
like-
Google Glass. What if there were contact lenses?
Segue.
Good one, dude. The one article I could find, because like Vincent said, it was actually difficult to find good technology stuff, and maybe we
Yeah.
just look in the wrong places.
But it also
No,
might
it
be
is.
your point where it's like we don't. That doesn't seem.
they
as
don't make
cool
news because
Yeah,
they're not
because we're so like desensitized to it.
to like breakthroughs and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, from one of my classes, I had to do that, like do a report on like technology, and it was
Yeah.
hard because I didn't. Everything is like, oh, it's not really new, but it's just like it's cool if you were from like the 80s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or if you know what I mean, like.
Yep.
You mean we can play video games in our house now?
It's like no one's invented the Matrix yet, so it's not that
exactly.
cool. You know?
Well, you know what's funny
if
is
the
I did
Matrix
mine.
existed, it would already be invented.
That's true, and we'd already be living in it.
Yeah, that's how it was in '99.
That's right. So maybe we've been living in it since '99. But anyways, well, go ahead.
It was funny though. My report that I had to do was on NFC technology.
Was it?
Because that was the best thing I
that
could
was the
come up with.
biggest kind of thing. Yeah,
Because really, it's like a life changing thing.
it is. Yeah, and it's really cool. The like the safety features they use with that is arguably much more safe than a card because
It is, but America's the only country who doesn't use it like
Already?
standardized. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
we are actually
Really?
behind.
Why?
I
Yeah.
guess
That's weird.
Because we're American,
we
live
we
on
live
other
in our
people's debts, and
we live in our bubble here in
Yeah,
America
right.
too.
I know. Huh?
There's a lot of stuff like fashion that's way further ahead in Europe
Or
than
soccer.
it is here. Yeah,
nobody,
yeah,
nobody
We
cares
haven't
about
caught on to that
soccer,
yet.
but me and 4 other people,
yeah.
or
But
football.
It's
excuse me.
football. Yeah.
Football.
I call it
yeah.
soccer because it's soccer.
That's just your American showing right
Yeah.
there.
I eat hot dogs.
Yeah. But
Pizza with ketchup, hot dogs, and hamburgers.
Pizza, ketchup, craft
Kraft
singles,
single.
yep,
hamburger,
plastic cheese.
hot dog sausage.
So, anyways,
Back when we had that really good segue, can we do that again?
I know, right?
So the next thing I came
Google
across,
Glass.
yeah, the next thing I came across was they were night vision contacts, and of course this is more of a hypothetical thing than like a real thing. You can't actually go buy night vision contact lenses, but
I'm sure
What
you
a-
could if you knew the right people and had enough money.
maybe they were saying that right now it's like to be successful outside of a lab is gonna take time.
So
lots
many
of time still.
variables. And
Yeah, because when it's in a controlled setting, sure, but it would basically like you could see better at night, but probably worse during the day because you'd be accepting too much light. You know
you can't like toggle it, or
that. I mean, I don't
Where
know
you
how
gonna
you'd
put the
control
switch?
it. You
well, it'd be
tap
like
your
a
eye or
sensor because there's
something, yeah.
welding masks that when
Oh, they
when
lighten
when you're
up.
not striking an arc, it's like a piece of glass, and then as soon as the like enough like light comes to it, it
That's true.
darkens instantly.
Yeah, there's just glasses that do that too that have clear lenses that'll
Well, with what I'm like with
darken when
with
you're
the
outside.
welding mask, it's like as soon as you
Instant.
as soon as you
It's not
strike
like a
the
slow
arc.
fade. It's like
No,
a-
yeah,
yeah.
it's as fast as light is, I guess.
yeah.
That's
I
pretty
was-
fast.
Yeah.
That's like the standard for
That's
speed.
like the fastest thing
is.
in the
It
universe.
is. But I was actually debating on even talking about it because the only article I could find was from 2014, and I can't find like an updated
Huh.
where they're at with the technology or whatever. But since there was nothing else, I figured I'd talk about it because I thought it was pretty cool. I was talking to Sarah about it, and she,
Who?
my beautiful, amazing, awesome Wonderful
Oh,
Life.
okay. Yeah, I wasn't
Now
sure
Now
who
you
you were
you
yeah,
talking
get it.
now
about.
now
Yeah,
who
Yeah,
you're
I was
talking about.
confused.
sorry guys. And I was talking to her about it, and she was like, "Well, cats can see in the dark. Like, why can't we just like we have
Breed
to
with
know how
cats.
we know we have to know how that works. Like,
Okay.
why can't we make that work? You know?
Splicing. Haven't you ever watched Batman Beyond?
Or Wild Wild West. They used eyeballs to see what people saw.
They did?
Yeah, remember that they could see the last thing someone saw before they died, but it was upside down.
I don't remember that.
I
No?
don't either.
I need to watch that
It's on
again.
Netflix. We'll add it to our list of videos we're
Okay.
gonna watch after this.
We're gonna spend 2.5 hours watching
No, this
4
was in
videos.
the early 2000s, late 90s, so it was an hour and a half long movie.
Oh, they weren't. Yeah.
But anyways, so I looked into how cats see in like low light because they can't
They
see
have
in
more rods, don't they?
they can't see in total darkness, obviously, because
Yeah.
it depends on light. There, I'm gonna sound like an idiot because I don't remember exactly how it worked, but there was basically like a layer behind their cornea that it's basically a light sensor, I guess, that just accepts more light and then feeds that to the eyeball or whatever,
So
and then that
where we can only open our pupils so much, they can actually receive more light
more
in their
light.
open pupil, even if it's maxed out.
Yeah, and I can't remember exactly what the science was behind it, but it's it's actually detrimental to their sight in abundant
Oh,
light.
like in
So
general.
yeah, so daylight they actually see worse than at night. So they're better off in dark situations,
But they need it
but
to
they can
see at all. Like,
yeah,
period.
yeah,
Right.
and they can see during the day, but it's not like what we would need to have for sight,
So
if
if you're
that
in
makes sense.
Africa and a lion's going to attack you, just act like he's a T-Rex,
Just turn
right?
on a
Or
really
shine
bright
a
light.
flashlight. No, act as if it's
Just
not a T-Rex, because T-Rexes see heat, which is where light comes from.
I thought they saw movement.
I
Isn't
thought
that
it
what
was
Jurassic
movement
Park
too.
should?
That's
Well,
what,
why did
yeah.
she use a flare? And
Because he's running with the flare, but then he stops and throws the flare. So he's following this flare, and then it goes that way. So he follows it that way.
yeah, but then when it
the
lands,
one
it
guy,
stops moving. So why would he follow it?
but the other guy who messed up, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
The guy from Seinfeld,
No, he's
Jeff
from
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. He's from Seinfeld.
No, the big guy that gets
Oh,
sprayed with poison is from Seinfeld.
Newman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Newman.
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 Um, Podolak or something. I don't remember his name.
I don't remember
Anyway,
his name in Jurassic Park either.
no, because then when Jeff Goldblum does it, he runs with it and he throws it, but he's still running, and that's why the T-Rex gets him, because he's still running. It's motion.
Oh,
But
I think
other
yeah, you're
guy,
right. You're right.
he was running and threw it and stopped, so that the T-Rex would only follow the light,
The moving thing.
the
yeah.
moving thing. Yeah.
But that's my technology
Well, and
contribution.
cats have more rods than we do, because like the way we see isn't. We were meant to. This is if you accept evolution as truth. Uh,
We see more shades of green.
our eyes were developed to work underwater first.
Oh yeah.
So that's why there's like a liquid in our eyeballs, because that's they weren't made to be above ground.
Well, the first
If we
organisms were
came
from
from
water.
fish, yeah.
We didn't come from fish.
Well, that's what you're saying. I mean,
Evolution.
that's the gist. We evolved from sea creatures.
No.
Okay, then
This is-
explain it to
no,
me.
the everything. It's a tree. A branch on a tree didn't come from the trunk. That's the same argument as humans.
That's a good. Yeah, that's, a
That's
good
the same argument
analogy.
as humans coming from monkeys. People didn't come from monkeys. They share a common ancestor, but people didn't come from fish or anything. It's just if you're looking at a leaf on a tree,
Well,
and
yeah,
you
they're-
say that leaf came from that trunk. It didn't. They're just connected. That's the way evolution works. Not it came from there.
There's not like trout swimming around turning into humans.
No.
Oh, I was confused.
Well, people say like, well, we didn't come from gorillas or monkeys or apes. No,
Yeah.
we didn't. We share an ancestor.
Right.
And so we didn't come from fish. We share an ancestor somewhere
Right.
millions of years ago.
Yeah, the gist of it was if the eye came from seeing in water, then it came or from something that started out in water, right?
Yeah.
That would be the correct
Yeah. And
assumption.
If you watch
Yeah.
The Universe or the
Yeah,
whatever
Neil
with-
deGrasse Tyson
if you
talks
watch
about it,
There's a whole episode
how
about the development
human
of the
eye
eye. It's pretty
isn't-
cool.
the
Really?
human eye is really like a shitty eyeball, really. But we've learned to accept seeing like we could see 3 colors and We can differentiate between light and dark with our rods, and our cones see red, green, and blue. So I don't think we could ever see like a cat could see.
Yeah,
It would
no,
be
I
cool though. I mean, I wonder what it would be like to see outside of our visual spectrum.
yeah, it
Because
would
like
be
there's
really insane.
butterflies that can see
I
the
don't think
whole
I
entire.
think it'd be too much for us to
We wouldn't
handle.
be able to handle it, huh?
Weren't we
Yeah.
talking about there's something that sees like ultraviolet light and
Bees,
is
insects.
that what we were
There's a
talking about?
butterfly too. I know. There's a
I
certain.
think any insects that like
Is it
use
any
nectar,
insects?
because that's why
Flowers attract them
flowers
they're.
Because
aren't
they're
blue.
bright. Yeah.
Oh, they don't have blue.
Yeah, that's why flowers never learned to be blue, because nothing blue would have survived.
There's got to be blue flowers though.
I don't think there is,
No, I'll find some.
or green.
I don't think
Probably
there's
not
green
green.
flowers, but I think there's
There's
well, they're
blue.
like
There's
purplish.
there's
I don't know.
violet flowers.
I don't
but
know what
there's
you
no,
define as blue.
That's true. That's
or
true.
maybe there's no. Maybe it was green that I'm thinking of. I'm gonna see if there's blue flowers. Guys, talk about something else.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely blue flowers, but I thought it was interesting. If anything, just for like that would be really cool if
Yeah.
if it ever got to that point where you could have, I can't remember what the material was, but it was like an atom's thickness
Oh
that
wow.
was more sensitive to light basically than a normal thing. So that's what they were testing. That's why it could be on a contact lens because it's that thin, and it just basically takes more light in, which would make it
Increase
possible for
your
us to
vision,
see when
yeah.
it's low light because we would accept more light. But like they were saying, it's like in a controlled lab setting, it could work, but in real, everyday life, probably not. So
Practically, yeah. How would you
yeah,
use
it wouldn't
that?
be practical, but it's something that who knows in a few years might be a real thing, which would be pretty crazy.
I'm
That
sure
would-
someday it will.
Yeah, and we probably won't hear about it for a while, anyways. If it is a real thing, that'll be like
Yeah.
a military use.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
thing or
say.
something
I'm
Yeah,
sure
like
the
that.
really.
military bought it up quick.
Yeah, if
As soon as the
it's-
article came out last year, the
that's
military
why I
was like,
can't
"Don't
find
talk
anything
about this."
current about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but
that's why we've only gone to the moon once, because we can't put missiles on it.
Is that why?
Well, it's illegal to claim any part of any body outside of the universe as either like private or nationally owned property.
we should
Oh.
talk about space next time.
That'll be next week.
Okay.
Space is super interesting. and
Every
I-
picture I saw of a blue flower looks
Purple.
Hey,
purplish.
purplish. Yeah, it
Or
probably
fake.
leans more purple, not like a true blue. I can't.
Yeah, I don't.
I-
Well, I don't think true blue is a real thing either. I think we made that up too.
Blue is just the color in between
What?
red and
Roy G. Biv in between
purple.
indigo and or
Indigo and
in between
magenta?
green and indigo.
or green, yeah.
In between green and indigo.
Yeah, because I guess blue's not. You don't
Because
see
like
blue in
you
a
don't see
rainbow,
like
right?
that shirt you're wearing in nature.
Yeah, no,
Maybe
you
like
don't.
lapis. That's not just in Minecraft. That's a real thing.
I don't even know what that is in real
Lapis
life or
lazuli.
or
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Or lapis lazuli. It's like it's a stone that's blue.
Oh.
It's where it was in a part. I think it's now modern day Afghanistan, but it was I think the Black Sea was where it was from. So when the Greeks and Romans would use it, or Syrians, they called it ultramarine blue because ultra means across and marine means sea. So that's where we get the ultramarine blue. That's that color.
Hmm.
Which
Let
is
me
like
see.
the color of your shirt.
I thought ultra just meant more or super.
Well, obviously, they didn't use English words, but translated to modern day English that's what it meant. But yeah. So next week we're talking about space.
I think so. I think that'd be fun. You guys down?
Yeah.
I'm down.
We
Space
should
is
definitely discuss what we're going to talk about the week after before we part ways, at least.
Yeah,
Well,
'Cause
we didn't decide last week until after the podcast too. So
yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's right. We did decide. I just forgot and didn't do any research. I felt like I was just so busy
Unprepared.
this whole week.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
you
try
went to Davis,
meditating.
man.
Well, I did, but I worked a lot of like full shifts, and by the time I got home, I just fall asleep until
Oh.
like
You worked a full shift today too. I'm surprised you're
Yeah.
still alive and kicking right now.
that's
Man.
why you're so giddy and
It
laughing.
is.
probably I've been up since 3:30.
Yeah.
You're gonna go watch What were we watching?
Wild Wild West. Yeah, you're
Fall
gonna go watch
asleep.
that. And fall
Actually,
asleep.
I'll probably go home and watch Rick and Morty. I got to finish that fourth episode of the second season.
Oh, well, I want to watch Wild Wild West with you anyway. So,
Oh,
Forget it then.
Let's watch it.
all right,
All right.
this is episode 6.
Yeah, I think it's done,
That's
guys.
it. Let's
We're just
end it
rambling.
right there.
Uh,
This is getting
Thanks
too
for
long.
watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like.
Thanks
If you
for
didn't
listening.
enjoy,
You're not
leave
watching
a
it. You'll
unlike.
watch soon enough when we get video.
If
up.
you made it this far, you absolutely have to comment because we will be so proud of you. We have to know.
You either fell asleep or
And just left it
unplugged
running.
your headphones and the volume was down.
Yep. Either way, leave us a comment, please. All right, guys. Till next week, then.
All right.
Thanks for listening. Talking to Walter.
Bye.
See ya.
I'm really glad we got that recorded.
I feel like if I died and like went to a place, that would be my hell. If I didn't
Just
go to a
hearing-
good place. Not just that, but being in a room full of people and not being able to distinguish which one is coming from which person.
Yeah.
It's just having like 20 people just staring at you, just going.
I can't even tell which one's me.
Me neither.
You were the one going.
Yeah.
Are we recording this?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll delete it afterwards so no one ever hears it.
Vincent will have fun editing this.
I'll put like a 3-minute silence at the end, and then I'll add
Just
that.
have the
A secret
sniffing at
track.
the end,